making in excess of $70 million. He's the only one, but now SGA is right there, and we love that for him. It's the second day of NBA free agency. We did have a big deal. Bucks signed former Pacers center Myles Turner to a 4-year, $107 million deal. And to pay for it, they waived a 9-time All-Star Damian Lillard. So they're going to spread his $113 million over 5 years. We've already mentioned stands to reason he'll miss, if not all, most of next season. Let's say hi to our senior NBA reporter, Brian Windhorst. We just asked Shams this question, and we already know anything involving Bucks, we're going to ask the question of how it impacts in any way Giannis' future there. So I'm going to present that same question to you. What does it all mean?
Well, this is an audacious and brazen move, the likes of which the NBA has really never seen this type of strategy. To keep Giannis engaged and happy over the last 7 years, the Bucks have traded away just about all of their draft picks. They have used up all of their salary cap. And so to do this move, they basically borrowed from their 2028, 29, and 30 salary caps to, sort of get this opportunity to add to the team. It is definitely a strong replacement for Brook Lopez, who they lost yesterday, because Myles Turner fits very well alongside Giannis. He can stretch the floor. He's a slightly better rebounder than Lopez, and he protects the rim. It's a very nice addition, but I'm not sure it's a needle mover. It's a needle mover when you're not able to do anything and you do this something. It absolutely grabs the headline. But I still think the Bucks are roughly in the middle of the pack in the Eastern Conference, just like they were in the middle of the pack last year, and they have to worry about replacing Dame Lillard, which is probably going to be replaced with Giannis. Giannis is probably going to be a big part of their point guard. So I'm sure Giannis is excited. I'm not sure it changes their championship aspirations. Having said that, I honestly believe that Giannis is looking for reasons to stay in Milwaukee, and this was a big one that he has today that he didn't have yesterday.
So you say maybe it's not a needle mover for the Bucks. I wonder if it's a needle mover in the wrong direction for the Pacers, because Myles Turner, longest tenured Pacer, and they're a game away from winning their first championship, and now he's gone. How is that loss going to impact the team?
Yeah, this is a core player for them. I mean, they have two other stars in Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton that are really the guys that, carry them. But Myles Turner is sort of their rock, especially defensively on the interior. He did not play his best basketball in the finals. That is true. But his contributions were huge for them in the second half of the season and getting them through the playoffs. Frankly, he was dominant in the series against the Bucks. That may have helped get the Bucks extra interested in him. Here's the story. The Pacers are a team that doesn't pay the luxury tax. They have not paid the luxury tax in 20 years. They are not a team with deep pockets. They have certain limits to their resources. They were willing to go into the tax a little bit here with Myles Turner, but the offer from Milwaukee was more than they were willing to pay, and they had to lose him for nothing. It is a huge blow to them. They are not easily going to be able to replace him.
Feeling like pay not commensurate with production has cost many a relationship, but Turner, one of just 3 players with 700 three-pointers and 1,400 blocks in NBA history. Your others, Brook Lopez, Rasheed Wallace. Brian Windhorst, thanks for joining us here with some NBA news. I'll get back with you on SportsCenter to the NBA and free agency day 2. Nuggets have gotten a lot done. They traded Michael Porter for Cam Johnson, then sent Dario Saric to the Kings for center Jonas Valanciunas, and then they added guard Tim Hardaway Jr. on a 1-year free agent deal. And finally, they brought back Bruce Brown. Denver's bench getting deep. If you add Valanciunas, it's the latest move in what's been a really busy, at least start to the offseason for the Nugs. Denver also traded, as I mentioned, Michael Porter Jr. to Brooklyn in exchange for forward Cam Johnson, who, by the way, averaged career highs in points and assists last season. The champ is here, our 3-time NBA champ, Udonis Haslem, joining the show. UD, what do you think about all these moves that the Nuggets have done so far in free agency?
I mean, I love it. I mean, this is a team who we've criticized in the last couple of years for just being a little bit stale, kind of running it back. Obviously, this is a team where we understood they were going through some changes with their coaches. So first and foremost, I love Adelman as a coach. I love his leadership. I love the fact that you're bringing a guy like Valanciunas because, listen, the Joker averaged 40 minutes per game in the playoffs last year. He led you in rebound. He led you in scoring. He led you in assists. He led you in every single thing. This man needs a break. So like the Hot Boys say, somebody help him out. So I love the fact that Joker has some help. Cam Johnson, I think, is an upgrade, and this is no knock on what they lost, but I love him as a basketball player. He can score the ball. He can defend on the other end, so I love that, and he can make plays. Bruce Brown is a guy who averaged 11 points a game in the finals against us. I hated him then, but I love him now, going to Denver right now, and he's also a Miami Hurricane guy, so I am happy for Bruce Brown.
There you go. You give him a little Miami love. You love the move. You know who loves the move? The sports books love the move. If you look at ESPN Bet right now and check out the latest Western Conference odds, so this time yesterday, Denver was 10-1 to take the West, and now they're 5-1. That's the second shortest odds to take the conference behind only the reigning champion OKC Thunder. How impressive, by the way, is what the Rockets doing so far? Houston with 8-1 odds to win next season's title, second best behind only OKC. What do you think about their moves?
Extremely impressive, man. I love Ime Udoka as a coach, as a leader. He's a fiery guy. He doesn't back down. And now he's brought in a superstar scorer, a guy who we saw them in the finals, or excuse me, in the playoffs last year. They struggled to score. This is a guy who's 27 points per game, 50 from the field, 40 from the three, 90 from the free throw line. So this is a guy who gets it done. You bring in Finney Smith. He's a guy who guards on defense, shoots 41% from three, so you got a 3-and-D guy. You keep your young core in Jabari Smith, who's the future of this franchise. You opt out Fred VanVleet, but you bring him back on a longer deal, so you got your leadership. And then you got your young all-star in Sengun. So you really lost nothing in this KD trade. You brought back your core. So I'm looking at this team who was hovering around second in the West last year to make that improvement. And you also brought back Steven Adams, who was huge for you in the playoffs last year, and Clint Capella. You got 3 bigs now to go against Joker.
Yeah, listen, I've had to spend a lot of time around Chiney Ogwumike the last few days, as you know, noted Houston native. And there's just been lots of screams of, we up, we back, it's it's lit, it's us. So I think they're feeling very good.
She ain't lying.
She ain't lying. Udonis Haslam joining us here to break down some of these NBA.
NBA,